5 things you missed in Wolves 0, Arsenal 2. That is right lads, Arsenal Football Club, after nearly 5 years of waiting, have won an away game against a side that is currently above them. But yeah, that is right lads, Arsenal did get the victory at Wolves in impressive fashion. From a clinical attacking performance to a very solid defensive performance. Let's just say it was one of the best Arsenal away performances we've seen in the past few years at least. And also with the win, Arsenal closed the gap to 3 points to Wolves themselves, and let's just say the hopes of Arsenal making the Champions League is small, but it is still there. But despite the great result lads, as always there is still a lot to talk about. From the future of Matteo Guendouzi, who was once again left out of the squad, to even Alexandre Lacazette getting his first away goal since February 2019. Let's just say lads, as always there is a lot to talk about. So with that being said guys, let's get into today's video and let's discuss 5 things that you guys missed in Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, the Arsenal 2. You heard that right lads, and away win FC, here we go. Lads, the last time, you heard that right lads, the last time Arsenal Football Club won an away game against a side above them was back in the 2015-16 season against Leicester. Let me just tell you right now Arsenal, you took your time. Yo, what's on guys, my name is Battleteam, welcome back to my channel. In 2 days lads, we are back again to discuss the mighty Arsenal, and I can say that once again because Arsenal got the job done as we beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-0 at the Molineux Stadium. Now of course Wolves are a side who are currently before this game in form as well, and so the fact that they hadn't lost a single game or conceded a goal and Arsenal go and beat them 2-0 at their ground really makes me happy boys. So let's just say Guest FC is back and it's in full effect lads. But with that being said guys, before we get into this, I wish I'd smash a like on the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And as always let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the game itself, on the result, where leaves Arsenal and our hopes for the Champions League, and anything else you want to talk about, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also make sure to follow all my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, and also subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders. The links are in the description below. But with that being said guys, let's get into this video and let's discuss Wolves 0, Arsenal 2 and 5 things that you guys missed. Let's be talking. Right, the first thing lads is a bit of a negative one, and that is Matteo Guendouzi gone? I mean, even when Arsenal winning games, I'm still somehow finding a way to be negative. I know there are a lot of fans who are getting bored of this entire situation, but at the same time lads, it's something that we have to talk about, because once again for the 4th game running, Arteta chose to leave Matteo Guendouzi fully out of the Arsenal squad. And so the funniest thing about it is, in those 4 games that we've left Guendouzi out, we won all 4 of those games. So Matteo bro, it's not looking good for you. And also lads, another thing that you guys would have missed is the quotes from David Ornstein before the game. As on a podcast he quote unquote said, "I think it looks like his time at Arsenal is coming to an end. Arsenal are offering him in exchange for players they might like to come in and swap deals." So you heard that right lads, according to a man like David Ornstein himself, Arsenal are looking to swap Matteo Guendouzi, which I can't lie is a bit of an interesting one. And I'll tell you what, there has been a lot of conspiracy theories to who Arsenal are looking to swap Guendouzi for, with one being Lyon's current French midfielder Hassan Mawar. Matteo, I'm a big fan of you my bro, but Hassan Mawar, yo, him have to move aside. But going back into the situation itself, I think the fact that we've left out Guendouzi for 4 games now tells me this issue is not getting resolved. I think Arteta has given Guendouzi the option to fix himself up, and Guendouzi is simply not replying. And as much as I love Matteo Guendouzi as a player, if he is not going to fix up his attitude, he is not going to remain at Arsenal. Because at the end of the day, as much as I love him and appreciate him as a player, I also understand the attitude of footballer plays a massive part to why he gets selected. And I'm not gonna lie to you Matteo, if your attitude isn't fixing up bro, then it might be time to go. And so for Arteta to once again leave him out of the entire Arsenal squad for 4 games in a row lads, this situation is getting worse and worse day by day. And the thing about that is we also do not have a clue to where Guendouzi is right now. There's no photos, there's no reports, there's no interviews. Guendouzi as things currently stand is basically missing. Matteo, where you at my bro? And also the fact that Arsenal won the 4 games that he's missed out in does not bode well for his future as well. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am now starting to personally see it myself. I think this is the end of Matteo Guendouzi's Arsenal career. I don't know how I'm saying it, I don't know why I'm saying it lads, but it's starting to all make sense now. Matteo, I love you my bro, but sometimes you just have to let go, don't you? Moving on to the next thing that you guys might have missed, and that is that Arsenal are in need of a number 8/number 10. And despite the performance being top draw for most Arsenal players, I'll tell you what, up until that first Arsenal goal in the first half, we really were struggling. And what we are struggling lads is getting that ball into that final third. We had so much of the ball in the first half and the open exchanges, but we could do simply nothing with it. We kept passing sideways and backwards to the centre backs and backwards and forwards and backwards, and it was boring. And I think what that first half showed to me lads is Arsenal clearly lack a proficient chance creator. We lack a player who has the ability to drive that ball forwards from midfield into the attack and progress it to the strikers. And so it's all great having Aubameyang and Nketiah and Pepe and so, but what is the point of having such great attackers if you cannot get the ball to them? Now make no no mistake, lads, I am happy with the win, but I'm also not blinded by the fact that Arsenal still are clearly in dire need of a number 8/number 10. And so then going back to a player like Guendouzi, if we are to swap him for Asamoah, that would make massive sense for Arsenal. Because in terms of Guendouzi as a player, yes, he's a massive player for the future and he has so much potential. But ask yourself the question, lads, does he fit the current Arsenal midfield? Because in terms of Guendouzi, what I see is a more progressive, faster version of Granit Xhaka. But as things currently stand, he is simply not on the level of Granit Xhaka. So if Arsenal are to somehow pull off a swap deal of Guendouzi for Aouar, as much as I love Matteo, Aouar would perfectly suit our midfield. Because what he offers us is that perfect ball progressor, chance creator, and overall top baller. And I cannot lie to you guys, as much as I love Matteo, the prospect of Aouar, Partey, and Granit Xhaka is a very tasty prospect, bro. But regardless of the result itself and whatever happens in the summer with Matteo Guendouzi, for me personally, I think it's absolutely imperative that Arsenal got out there and signed a number 8, a guy who can create chances. Because in that first half, you can see Arsenal in dire need of one, bro. Moving on to the third thing, lads, and that is an Arteta defensive masterclass. Arsenal Football Club defensive masterclass. Did you ever think you were going to hear that on my channel? Because I certainly didn't, lads. Because Arsenal Football Club today became the first side in this current Premier League season to go to Wolves, get a win and keep a clean sheet. And so you have to bow down to the king of Arteta, because I'll tell you what, since coming into the Arsenal, he has made us so much more defensively solid, and today perfectly showed that as well. With all due respect, how on earth can Arsenal fill the lacks of David Luiz, Shkodran Mustafi and Sead Kolasinac as a back three and have attackers like Adama Traore and Raul Jimenez in their pockets? Say whatever you want about Arteta, but I'll tell you what, defensively the guy has really improved us. And here's another stat for you guys as well. In the entirety of last season, Arsenal kept in total 8 clean sheets, whereas in just 15 games with Mikel Arteta, Arsenal have already kept 7 clean sheets. So are you telling me the guy's not improving us? And so to those frauds, the idiots, the guys that were turning Arteta after that single defeat against Brighton, you lot are on fraud watch times 1,000. And you have to also ask yourself the question, if Arteta is capable of making this Arsenal defense this level good with players like David Luiz and Shkodran Mustafi, no offense to my bros, but you're not the best, are you now? Just imagine how good this Arsenal defense could become when he gets his own people in. Man like William Saliba, man like Diego Pamecano. I'll tell you what, lads, I do not want to go over the top, but Arteta is the one, my bros. Moving on to the fourth thing, lads, that you might have missed, and that is Arteta trusts Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Yes, you heard that right. We are seeing a beautiful episode of Remontada and that of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Because after that bright start in the Arsenal career with Arteta and Maitland-Niles, after a few games, Arteta completely chose to leave Maitland-Niles out of the Arsenal squad, and there was even a point when Hector Bellerin was injured and Arteta chose to place Socrates at right back over Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because Arteta simply did not rate his attitude in the way he was talking, and a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself, thought it was the end of Ainsley Maitland-Niles' Arsenal career. But boy, were we wrong, because since the return of football, Ainsley Maitland-Niles seems to have patterned up, bro. And he even came out in an interview and said this week, I would play right back every week if I had to. I am not really fussed. The main thing is being out there with a team and helping them win games. That's where some people may have misjudged what I said before. So we are talking about a guy who was adamant of playing as a central midfielder, who thought he was the next Steven Gerrard. And in the space of a couple months, Arteta has patterned him up and told him, bro, you are a right back. I'll tell you what, lads, when my manager speaks, you better listen. And so then going back to today's game, lads, he brought Ainsley Maitland-Niles on, but as a left wing back, because Arteta now trusts the guy, and he trusts Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and he understands the guy is fully committed to the cause. And so not only did Ainsley Maitland-Niles come on as a left wing back, but he also then pocketed Adama Traore. Lads, am I dreaming right now? But yeah, in terms of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, lads, it looks like the guy is now staying at the Arsenal. And I'll tell you what, lads, this Ainsley Maitland-Niles remontada is most simply just beautiful. And on to the final thing, lads, and that is Arsenal finally end the dub. That is right, lads, after 5 long years, Arsenal Football Club finally beat a club that is above them away from home. And if you want to count Wolves as a top 6 side as well, because right now they are 6th, this is the first time we've been a top 6 side away from home since January 2015. Let's just say, Arsenal, you took your time, lads. And not only did Arsenal end their duck, lads, but there was also a certain little French striker who finally scored an away goal. Because that is right, lads, Alexandre Lacazette, after waiting nearly 16 whole months, finally got an away goal after coming off the bench and scoring a fantastic finish as well. Do you know what, lads? I know for a fact I'm dreaming now. But yeah, going back to the Arsenal performance itself, not only was it just a standard good win, it was a performance that a lot of Arsenal fans haven't seen for a long time. We saw an Arsenal side finally go away from home and actually get the business done. A solid, convincing defensive performance, as well as a potent and threatening attacking performance as well. And it also means in terms of our past 4 games, we've now won 3 away games in a row. This is 110,000% a dream now. Now, lads, I'm not saying Arsenal are back, but what I am saying, lads, is this is a massive step in the right direction. connection. And I'll go back to all those frauds that were calling Arteta after the loss against Brighton. You lot are absolute frauds. And in terms of Arsenal now, it's over to you, Stan Kroenke. In Mikel Arteta, lads, I believe we have the right guy, the guy who is the one. So it's down to you guys, the Arsenal board and the Arsenal ownership, to finally back the guy as well. Forget about trusting the process, lads. Let's go out there and buy the process, lads. All that being said, guys, I am going to end the video in there. Of course, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure to go down and smash a like on it, and also do subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the game itself, on the performance, on players in particular, on Matteo Guendouzi, and anything else you want to talk about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to follow all my social media, my Instagram, my Twitter, and subscribe to my group channel, The Offsiders. The links are all in the description below. All that being said, guys, let's end the video there. In today's video, lads, we discussed Arsenal finally ending a duck away from home against a top tick side, against a team above us. We finally did it, lads. I am over the moon. I believe I'm dreaming, and I'm going to see you guys next time in a bit.